Alright, good afternoon, America. Welcome to another episode of the Goonie Gunfighter. My name is Lay, and I'm here to take you on this wonderful journey of firearm ownership here in the greatest country on the entire fucking planet called Earth. Alright, so in the last video we did talk about the 4 rules of firearm safety, which is treating all guns as if they're loaded, never point a gun at anything you're not willing to destroy, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot, and be aware of your targets and surroundings when you are shooting. But in today's video, I'm just going to do a little basic demonstration on how to load and unload some of the basic firearms that you're going to find in the market today. Nothing crazy like a fucking minigun or a friggin' Carl Gustav or NASA rocket, you know, going to the butthole of Uranus or anything like that. I know that's probably a double entendre, but I just did it. So double entendre that shit. So today, I'm going to show you a couple of things here. We're going to do a demonstration on revolvers, semi-automatic pistols, semi-automatic rifles, and pump-action shotguns. I know there's a shit ton of other firearms out there, but I am not a rich man. These are all the firearms that I could muster in my possession. Okay, so first what we're going to do is I'm just going to do a final safety check on these guns before we get started, just to appease the safe Nazis out there. I got the revolver here, J-frame revolver, 38 special. I'm going to open up the cylinder, and as we can see, no rounds in the cylinder. So I'm just going to put that right down there. Next, I have a Glock 19 9mm semi-automatic pistol. It's going to be another one's going to fall into the semi-automatic pistol category. As we can see, there's no rounds in the magazine well or the chamber itself. So I've officially done that one. So I'm just going to close you up, and I'm actually going to just set you down to the side. Now I have here is a typical AR-15 rifle. Now I did some, Fagel paint job on this one to make it look super neato, tactical and everything, desert, whatever. This is just a regular Colt AR-15, or not a Colt AR-15, the 6920. I'm a California resident, so having a Colt AR-15 without assault weapons paperwork is a little, So we have the bolt open right here, so I'm just going to physically and visually inspect the chamber as well as the magazine well, and there is no ammo in the gun. And I do have the empty 10-round magazine right there. So hopefully that doesn't balance and fall off. And now I've got a pump-action shotgun here. This is a Remington H70. This is just an old Wingmaster that I've had for a billion years. As I can see, I have the magazine. The magazine tube is unloaded as well as the chamber, so we are dealing with safe firearms here. During the demonstration, we are going to use snap caps. I do not have any live ammunition here. I just got a bunch of snap caps just to appease you safety Nazis out there from using actual live ammunition, which I have been a victim of utilizing live ammunition for doing loading and unloading training purposes, which is incredibly unsafe, and I don't recommend it. Shot a hole in the floor. Beasley, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but you didn't die. So we're just going to get started then. Let's get real close up to these guns, and I'm going to just show you from a point of view on how to load and unload these firearms. Okay? Alright, so we're going to just quickly show you how to load a revolver here. Revolvers are notoriously simple to operate, very few moving parts, and the manual of arms is completely simple. This one is a 5-shot J-frame by Smith & Wesson. It is the model 642. If you have any questions about what kind of crap I have on this gun, it's I'll just answer it real quick. This is just a DeSantis clip grip, and this is one of the Laser Max lights on a revolver. And as you can see, it flared out J.J. Abrams style. So first what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open the cylinder, and one of these Smith & Wesson revolvers, to do that you're going to push on the cylinder latch, and then with your other offhand you're going to open the cylinder by pushing it out to the left side. Now as you can see, I'm checking to make sure all the rounds, there's no rounds or anything in the firearm. Now I'm going to take the non-firing dummy cartridges, and one by one, and I just want you to know these are 38 specials I'm throwing in there, one by one I'm going to throw it in each one of the cylinders. In another video I will show you how to load one of these faster, more tactical, I guess, tactical revolver or whatever, for those that like to use the word tactical, but here we go. And once I have the cylinder completely filled with ammunition, I'm going to close the cylinder and lock it into place simply by rotating it until it locks into place. There is no safety on revolvers. The safety mechanism, and I'm doing air quotes here, is relied on the heavy trigger pull, the long and heavy trigger pull, to be able to maintain the firearm in the safest possible condition while it is loaded. Now, to unload the gun, it's a bit of reverse engineering. You just push on the latch, swing the cylinder back out again, and there are two different ways you could do this. You could either let gravity take its course, and I'll just show you briefly how to do that. As you can see, if I shake it out, it will kind of fall itself out. If it does not fall out, the mechanical way to do it is to push on this ejector rod, which I'm going to show right here, and it does shoot out. As we can see, it does shoot out. Now, to do that, you'll just have to push it real hard, and it'll all come out at the same time very rapidly. Just gonna check, make sure it is unloaded, close the cylinder, and then you would return the firearm to its safe place, whether in a safe, a lockbox. All right, so the next gun that we're going to use is going to be the Glock 19 9mm pistol. Let's just do a quick check on this one. As you can see, no ammunition in the firearm, as well as no ammunition in the magazine well. As we can see, we also have the detachable box magazine. It is a 10-rounder. There is no ammunition in it. Alright, so now there are several different ways that you can load a semi-automatic pistol. You can simply take the magazine, take the cartridge, like this one is a 9mm dummy cartridge, and just push it into the magazine like so. You put the back to the front, and then you just kind of push down and then push in. Take the handgun and you insert the magazine until it clicks into place. Now, there are two different ways you can chamber the round in this gun. As you can see, you have a little lever here. This is the slide locking lever. So you could either push down on that one, or you could just choose to slingshot it by pulling back and releasing it like a slingshot. I'm just going to use the mechanical levers on this gun for today. I can teach you how to use it, teach in other videos on how to chamber the round using the slingshotting method, or off your boot if you want to be tactical like that. So, but I'm going to, since I am a righty, I'm going to use my thumb, and I'm simply just going to push down on something like that. Now, this is a Glock. Depending on what handgun you do have, you may want to or not engage the safety. This Glock 19 has a passive safety, which is in the trigger. So as long as you do not have your finger on the trigger, you should be pretty okay. Now, what I'm going to do now is going to unload the firearm. To do that, first I'm going to remove the magazine from the firearm by pressing on the magazine release button, which is usually on one side of the gun or the other. This one is a Gen 3, so it is only on the left side. So once I push that one, the magazine should pop out. Now I do have another dummy cartridge in the magazine, but we'll disregard that. Now we're going to unload the chamber, but I want to just to make sure that it's loaded. As you can see, even though the magazine is outside of the gun, the chamber can be loaded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull back on the slide, let it fall out of the gun. Don't worry, not worrying about where it lands, and then just return it back into battery. Now I'm going to lock the slide to the rear by using the slide locking lever. I'm going to push up on it, give constant pressure, and then take the hand and then, or just I'll do it this way, pull all the way back until it locks into place. And you'll actually see, because it goes into a little slot right there. Let's see if I can get the sun to catch it. There's a little slot right there. And as you can see, I'm just going to pull back on the slide, and I'll insert that little tab in there. Now I'm just going to physically and visually inspect to make sure that the ammunition is clear off the firearm. And whether I choose to or not, I return it in the battery, and then I can place it back into the safest storage area, whether on a table, a nightstand, under the pillow, in a friggin' drawer that shoots the gun, or shoots the gun in the air so you can catch it John Woo style. Alright, so now what we have here is a semi-automatic rifle. This specific model is a AR-15 style gun. It's Colt 6920. I do have the rifle here open. Bolt is open. I have already cleared just to make sure that the firearm is unloaded and everything. I do have the 10-round box magazine here, and we're just going to go ahead and show you how to do it. First, for one of these rifles, there are a few more controls on this gun than there are on the handgun and the revolver, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you a couple of them, things that you're going to need to know. On a California gun, you have the bullet button here, which you have to utilize a tool in order to remove the magazine from the gun. Next is the charging handle, which is this guy right here. This actuates the bolt, because the bolt does operate internally, entirely internally to the firearm. So, and the safety lever is right here, which it's on fire now, and it goes onto safe. And this one back here is the bolt release and bolt catch lever. I'm pretty sure my nomenclatures are fucked up, and if you're out there screaming, yelling me, telling me about that's not the correct nomenclature, well, you can go sit on it. So first, let's get this out of the way a little bit. There we go. So first, what I'm going to do is that, since I've already checked to make sure the gun is unloaded, I'm going to take the magazine, and I'm going to take the non-firing dummy cartridge and put it in the magazine. I'm literally just going to push it on top and into the gun. I see lots of people, they like to load it like a handgun and everything like that, and they'll push back here and then do that number. Stop doing that, you look stupid. Just literally take it on top, push it on top, and it locks in. And then you subsequently keep doing that until the magazine is filled with ammunition. Next, what you're going to do, and just let me get this out of here, I don't have enough real estate for something like this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the magazine and I'm going to load it into the firearm by pushing until it clicks. As you can see now, the magazine feeding device is locked into the firearm. Now I'm going to chamber the round into the firearm. Now, just like the handgun, there is the slide or the bolt locking lever, which is right back here. I'm just going to smack the left side of this pedal. If you've seen the movie Heat, you've seen Val Kilmer do that really cool, super cool tactical reload thing and everything. So you would just be able to push that one right there, or you can simply pull back on the charging handle, give it a good yak, and then let it go, and it should snap forward like a slingshot. But just for the purpose today, we're just going to use the mechanics of the thing. So I'm literally going to push this one, and as you can see, I'll show you on the other side what that looks like from the right side of the gun, but that did just chamber the round into the gun. Alright, like I said, I did just load, I don't know if you can see that right there, but you can see that the dummy cartridge is in there, and we're going to chamber the round by pressing on the paddle right here, the bolt release paddle. And just to show you, I'm just going to show you what that looks like. It just kind of slams home, the bolt will go closed, and it does chamber the round into the gun. And for just the purpose of demonstration, I am going to take it back on fire and then put it back on safe. Okay, now for all intents and purposes, the firearm is technically, for demonstration purposes, loaded. What we're going to do now is we're going to unload it. And with one of these guns, especially it is a California gun, if you lived in another state that was a little bit more free than the Sunshine State, you would normally just, let's see if I can, just right there, you would simply push this button right here. In the state of California, the magazine release button has been replaced by the bulletin button style thing, which causes the firearm to have a tool to lock the magazine in. So I'm going to use my little tool, little Allen wrench thingy here, and the magazine should pop out just like on the semi-automatic pistol. Let's put the magazine off to the side right there. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that chamber check like it did with the Glock. So we're actually going to use the charging handle here, and let's see if I can get that. If you can look at the at the bolt as well as the charging handle, you could see that they move back. And so what you're going to do is just going to pull it open, and as we could see, I don't know if you can see that, but you could see the little red non-firing dummy cartridge. And that shows that the firearm is still loaded, even though the magazine is out of the gun. So just like the semi-auto pistol, checked to make sure that the gun is completely unloaded when if you are unloading it. So don't just remove the magazine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull the bolt all the way to the rear, and the cartridge will just fling right out. And bye-bye to that one. Hit the floor, motherfucker. All right, and just like the pistol, I'm actually going to push the bottom part of this so I can lock the bolt to the rear. So there's a little finagling I have to do. So with my left hand, if you're righty, with my left hand, just do this number. And with your right hand, go up with the charging handle, and it locks the bolt to the rear. And that's pretty much, you can put the firearm into your safe space. Okay, last but not least, we do have the pump action shotgun. For demonstration purposes, this is the only gun I could find. Semi-automatic shotguns do have a couple of differences on the firearm, but a lot of the loading and unloading procedures are very similar. A lot of the semi-automatic shotguns will have a magazine tube on which it is loaded. Now, this one is a Remington 870. Mossbergs will operate very similarly. Winchesters, even the shitty Weatherby security guns will be able to do that. So first what we're going to do is we're going to open up the action on this gun. All right, and you're going to see on the side right here, there's a little tab coming out of the gun. That is actually the action release button here, or the, I won't say bolt release, but it does, what it does is that right now it's locked, and you can see it right there. See my finger. If I push on that one, it opens it up. So I'm going to just physically inspect both the chamber as well as the magazine tube, and it's a little bright red amber thing there. That's actually my follower on that one, and that one does not have around in the gun. So for the shotgun, it's a little bit different, especially a pump action shotgun. You can actually load these in two different ways. That won't damage the firearm. And some of you semi-automatic pistol guys might disagree with me and everything, but I usually don't try to load a round into the chamber and then close the extractor on the gun. It could generally ruin it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to show you the real basic, easy one without even manipulating anything. You see the feed ramp lever thing that feeds it into the thing, whatever it is. I have a dummy cartridge right here. This is a 12 gauge dummy cartridge, doesn't shoot or anything. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to push all the way down, and then with my thumb I can just push forward until it clicks into place. As you can see, it is clicked into place. What I can do now is I could simply rack the shotgun, but obviously I can't do that, so I would need to push this lever right here, and you're actually going to see it there, and then just pull back forward into the firearm. Of course, I'm going to engage a safety. This is a cross bolt safety. There we go. Red means dead, so I don't want it to do any dead, so I just lock it on this thing. Now that's one of the ways that you could do that with this shotgun. You could just pump it like a cool guy and everything. Next, what you can do is you can simply just take one, throw it in the action, and close it, and now you have one in the barrel. So, and then you could subsequently load the rest of them up in here if you wanted to top it off. This one's a 4+1, so it would be just a 5-shot action. But you could do it all super cool and everything like that. You could also just release the bolt if you want to. You could just dry fire the gun, and before I dry fire the gun, I just want to check to make sure it's loaded. Take the safety off, and then dry fire it. And then what you could do is you could just load it in there, and then without even having to push the action bar, you could simply, and it loads a round into the firearm. So now let's just unload that one. Now to unload it, obviously, you're going to, or at least the first process is you're going to unload the barrel, which you push on the lever bar over here, and then pull the action back. As you can see, it is loaded, so we're just going to, eject it out of the gun. Now, if you've ever seen the movie Point Break, and you'd seen Patrick Swayze unload the gun by pumping it until it went dry, I don't recommend that. It's very unsafe, and it does offer you the options to actually have a negligent discharge. So if I were to just put one in here, and then just pump it, and then pump it again to unload it, I can keep doing that until all the rounds are out. Now, like I said, I do not recommend that, but that is one way you could do it. It is not safe, and I don't condone it, but that is one way you could do it. One of the other ways you could do it is after you've already cleared the barrel. All right, what you could do is you could just open the action halfway, and there are little bars right here and I pushed it in with my thumb. You see my thumb moving, and then I just simply push it out, and I didn't have to run around through the action. So that's it. All right, that's kind of the end of our semi-formal demonstration on some of the typical firearms you're going to find out there in the market. Now, I know that there's a bunch of goddamn guns out there. This is America, so there's a shit ton of designs out there that I didn't demonstrate with. I'm not a rich man. I'm not a well-connected man. If you would feel free to give me some guns to do demonstration with, that'd be fucking awesome. I will take free guns left and right any day. As long as they're legal. As long as they're legally obligated. I don't want fucking guns that are not illegal. I'm not trying to go to jail for a YouTube video. But this does conclude the semi-formal demonstration. If you do want me to do a demonstration on a gun, I could try and find a gun out there and try and do demonstration on it, just for your informal selves and everything out there. Just comment on the thing below. I see a lot of people, they do this, so comment below, and I will try and muster a gun up that I can show you how to load and unload, whether it's a black powder gun or some fancy-ass meteorite made 1911. I don't think I can get that one, but I'm going to try anyway. I'm poor as fuck, and I live in the most expensive city in America. But I live in the greatest country in the world, so fuck you. Thank you for watching another episode of the Goonie Gunfighter. I'm Lee, and I will see you in the next video. Not really sure what to do with my hands, but fuck it.